That is our race car, and that is a racetrack. I've never driven that on one of those, but I am about to.
We are at Llandow Circuit in Wales, and today Richard Hammond is driving the last car he ever drove for the BBC.
Richard bought this MGB from his final episode of Top Gear, where it once sat beside Jeremy's Fiat 124 and James's Peugeot 304. It now hangs around the Smallest Cog and is fully track prepped. And today, Richard finally gets behind the wheel of his race car since the last episode of Top Gear.
Richard, you're finally getting to drive this car.
Yes, not for the first time.
It's becoming a bit of a theme, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a car in my life upon which I've spent a great deal of money and time.
Yes.
And everybody I meet has driven it but me. For instance, my Subaru.
The Subaru Impreza?
Yeah, which was about 10 years before I got to drive it. You'd driven it quite extensively.
Yes.
This I have never driven.
So Anthony,
Yes.
Abby Eaton,
Yes.
me.
You. Well, I mean, you're obviously you. Okay.
Well, I was just testing out some things on it. You gave me a list and I needed to tick them off, and you know, I did a job.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, same with the Subaru. It was a big shakedown.
Right.
One big shakedown.
Yes. Yeah, you shook it apart with that one bracket, but we won't talk about that.
You excited though?
I am.
The
yeah,
last
I'm
car
really,
you ever drove on Top Gear.
I'm really looking forward to it. It is a significant car to me, this, because it was the last car I ever drove on Top Gear. I kept it for that reason. It sat in a lock-up, didn't do anything, and then we turned it into a race car so we could, you know, market our business, advertise the Smallest Cog. So hopefully I'll discover that doing a bit of this, myself, driving, will reignite my enthusiasm, which will reignite the team's enthusiasm, which will reignite the success of the workshop. And, you know, I'll do any amount of workshop work if I get to play.
Okay, and if all goes well, you will do a full race season.
If all goes well, I will campaign this car this year.
That's cool.
I don't we'll do every race, I don't will have time, but we'll do every race that we can afford to do, because it's got the name of the workshop written on it. Okay. And that's the whole point of it. The whole point is, you know, we don't need to win, nice to, but we can be midfield and people see us, learn the name, when they want a car doing, they come to us. That's simple, isn't it?
Well, good luck today.
Yeah.
When you were at school, did you ever, when you bought brand new shoes, have people come up to you and just like scuff them?
Yes.
I've got a massive temptation just to come right across the front there.
As soon as I put them on, Anthony said, "Oh, you got the leather ones, did you?" Yeah, because I'm the boss.
New shoes boy.
That's the only perk I've got. He's got a fancy crash helmet with the name of the workshop on it and his own name monogrammed on his undershirt. I haven't.
And you've got the fancy pants shoes.
I've got the best boots. So there. I win the boots competition, but not the crash helmet one.
Okay, I hope they pedal well.
I'm sure they will. Well, we'll see.
The MG was warmed up and noise tested before Richard, Anthony and their racing mate Patrick went out for some initial warm-up laps. The car has had some major issues in the past, mostly centering around brakes and cooling, so the pressure was on for the cogs to have nailed the prep of the B.
Isaac, I don't want to bring up any bad energy today, but the last time that car was here, it kind of turned up without any brakes, didn't it?
I haven't forgotten that day. No, that was bad.
I imagine you're pretty nervous about it today.
Yeah, we have got a lot of spares. That box there is just spares.
Yeah.
We've got new brakes, we've actually got new calipers, because we had sort of fast road calipers on there before, so we've gone for, we've got AP kit on there now.
So you've turned up to start the season and the car's absolutely tip-top ready to go.
Hopefully, it says we're actually testing a few things today, because we've got new front springs, new front brakes, so a lot more force. So hopefully it should be okay.
You've built some of Richard's cars before. Is there a bit more pressure on this one because it's a race car, like the car's going to be put under a lot more pressure than a normal road car?
Well, there's a lot more pressure because you've got Richard driving it, which is the new thing. You've got, you know, safety of everybody else, and also the film crew here. They've obviously got a lot of freelancers, a lot of people are here, and it rides on that car going around the track. So if that goes wrong, then there's a lot of people going, "Oh, why has it gone wrong?" So
I could see in your face when we first arrived. I could tell you were a bit like, right, let's just absolutely nail this. Get this day done with.
Yeah, it is worrying. You do, you lose sleep over it prepping, but we've done everything we can. Just hopefully we can fix it if something does go wrong.
Well, I can hear it. It sounds good so far.
3 laps now, so
good luck.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
It was time for Richard to start getting the hammer down, bringing the MG's new capabilities to the surface.
Bless it!
That looked and sounded pretty good. How did it go?
Oh, it was great fun. I loved it. The car, I've driven faster things.
Yes.
And more modern feeling things. But that time I was driving it, I was thinking, I've never really driven a classic race car.
Yeah, when I drove it, I didn't really know what to expect,
No.
how antiquated it would feel.
Yeah.
But I thought it felt just like a sort of hard-top MX-5, really.
That's not a bad shout. About that level of power delivery, it's not massively
Yeah.
powerful. Gear shift is lovely.
Yep.
It feels quite four square. And it felt benign and quite wonderfully analogue.
Okay.
I mean, fabulously analogue.
Is that how you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was lovely. I loved that. I could get myself into trouble in it, of course I could. I could get myself into trouble in the shopping trolley. But there's enough there for us to hone our skills on. The next thing will be to pile some laps on it, and then the next thing will be to learn some racecraft in it, because there's one thing doing it when there's nobody else on the track, but another one entirely when there's cars in front. But I loved it. I think just remembered why I've got the car. Because when I drove it on Top Gear all those years ago, I said that the MGB GT is a sort of cheesy. Do you know what I mean? It's not a car you go, oh, it's an
Slightly
MGB.
obvious, kind of.
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
It's the obvious classic car choice. You think, oh, come on, try a bit harder, be a bit more imaginative.
Yeah.
But they're bloody good looking.
The reason it's popular.
It's
Yeah.
exactly right. It's a gutsy little engine. I mean, it's all over by the shouting. We were talking about the rev limiters at 6,000, but it's all over by 5,500 RPM. But that's great. It's just a different feel. I loved it. It's a really, really sweet little car, and I look forward to playing with it.
So what's the plan for the rest of the day then? That was the first go. Is it just now putting laps on it?
Well, the good thing is, as usual, with both the show and the filming is just they're going to film us doing what we've got to do, and what we've got to do is get some laps under its wheels. The reason it's called Doris is never lasting more than a day.
Oh, God.
So we need to see if we can...
That'll be an achievement then.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a bit of internal competition? Because I sense the stopwatch is going to come out.
If I can be honest,
Here we go.
It's not from me. I'm not naturally that. You know me. You know I'm not.
I don't know.
Oh, hang on. Was that rally
Oh,
day?
that was a 55, was it? Okay, I'll
Oh,
try and
yeah.
get a 54 now.
Yeah,
oh,
all
we're 53. What were you, Anthony?
Oh, yeah.
I can see that happening.
Maybe a bit. Maybe a bit. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah.
If you could come in, I don't know, 48, 49, that'd be fine. You'll be alright, just remember to load the brakes up like I told you, and keep the revs there, and move that little tag up to about 800. You won't have a chance then.
Anthony is out in the car. He's going to set a marker. I reckon he's got a point to prove here because he's been in that car for a couple of years now. You'd expect him to put down a pretty good time. The stopwatches are out. Let's see what he's got.
Anthony got up to pace very quickly, putting in numerous 53s, then 52s, before putting in his best lap, a 51.8.
Right, the boss man is now in the car. He's got a lot to do. I reckon that 51.8 from Anthony is a solid time around here. I don't know what I would have done when I drove it. I reckon not quite as quick as that. But there's a lot of talent in that man's hands, and I reckon all those years, all that experience of driving cars flat out may come good. Stopwatch is out.
Things didn't start amazingly for Richard, with initial laps in the 56s, but then things started to click. He tumbled through the 55s, then the 54s, then jumped down to a low 52. Richard then dug even deeper, carving out a 51.6, 2/10ths quicker than Anthony.
Our fellow DRIVETRIBE presenter Ben Collins constantly gets asked which out of the three of you, the trio, would be the quickest round of track on any given day. And he keeps giving these wishy-washy answers that never actually nails it down. So I want to hear from you yourself. Try and be as impartial as possible. Same car, same track, the three of you, who's the quickest?
I'm asked it a lot, and obviously I never want to say not me, but
I reckon you back yourself.
history tells us, probably because he's so old and has done a lot, probably Jeremy, but it depends on the car.
Okay.
and on the track and on the day. The most important thing is you could do it one day and you get one result, and then the next day you'd get another result.
This is getting wishy-washy.
Well, I know. Here's why. It's why the whole idea of having a professional racing driver on the show came about. It's because we all drive a lot and have driven a lot, all three of us. But we've driven for camera, which is about, it looks really cool and it's slithering about and look at that. That's not fast.
No.
And what we don't have is the ability to squeeze the last bit of speed out of a car consistently.
Get like scientific about it and just like, yeah.
Because we get bored.
Yeah.
And the moment it starts to break away, you think, hey, I bet this looks really cool. I'm doing a skid. And we just want to go out and do skids. Whereas a professional racing driver wants to keep it tight and neat and fast.
Okay.
They're totally different disciplines.
But today, all three of you in the MG, as an example.
Well,
Because you're saying different types of cars,
okay.
so that makes
If it was in the MG, I've got a massive weight advantage, which would be significant in a lightweight car like that. If you put another 200 kilos,
Bloody hell.
there's probably another 50 kilos or 20 kilos. 30,
50?
20.
Okay.
20 kilos. 30 kilos. What am I? I'm about 70 kilos.
And you think those lads are over 100?
Yeah, look at the size of them.
Bloody hell.
Well, okay, they're big boys. That would make a difference. James is quite, as you know, he's quite scientific. He likes to, that's what interests him about that kind of driving. Jeremy just has to win at all costs, and he'll leave it to his brain to find a way of making
He'd
it
just skip this bus stop.
Probably,
He'd just be straight
yeah.
across.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's not.
I'll move things
I
on.
really-
You've wishy-washed,
I've
but I'll
done
move
the, I've
things
done
on.
the same as Benders. I know, because that is the answer. I'm going to say it probably wouldn't be me because I'd eventually outdrive myself.
Okay.
Not joking. That's not a Hammond always crashes joke. But I would eventually think, right, this is it. Oh, I've done that bit wrong. I'm going to make up for it on this bit. Oh, I've crashed.
Yeah, overdrive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Did it ever come up in the production office to give you guys a lap in the reasonably priced car? Because that would have settled it.
Yeah, I think we almost sort of shied away from it. But mostly because the whole purpose, when the reasonably priced car came up, was because we're not racing drivers. We don't have the consistency. We get distracted by, oh, this looks good. We wanted somebody independent that we knew would always be capable of getting every last second out of any car in production. So these aren't race cars, if you remember, they were all production cars. And whatever is the fastest current production car of its time, if you give it to a pro driver, Ben or anybody else, they'll get that round that track once they know the track well enough, as fast as it will go. It's a definitive answer. So again, if you put the three of us round this track for a day, and what was I, 51 something, we'd probably all end up at the same.
Would you be okay if we buy a Suzuki Llandow and we rent Dunsfold, we get you three guys and we settle it 5 laps each? Can you?
Yeah, but the only thing is we would need enough practice time to get, because
It's a bigger lap than this, I
You've
guess,
got to
yeah.
progress to where that car can go. But all you're going to find is you'll get to, that's as fast as that car's going to go. Once you've got the lines right, the gears right, braking right, that's it. That's what the car does. And then you just got to get that in your head and do it.
Okay, I mean the comments are going to tell you otherwise and tell you exactly who would have been the quickest.
Well, that's
but
nice to know.
A lovely
It's
solid
really nice
answer.
to know. I'm wishy-washy again, I know.
It was really interesting today watching your times tumble. It was very much like watching Izzy and seeing her progress throughout the video. It's exactly the same way. It was almost metronomic. I mean, you will have seen the times coming in.
Yeah.
But it was 56, 55, 54. You were literally
Well, because I didn't know
tumbling
how
down.
hard you needed to push it, and I'm lazy.
Okay.
So I just thought, well, if I get away with just pedaling around like this, it's brilliant. It's not scary. It's that's too slow. So then you've got to find out how hard you've got to push it.
Well, we'll hopefully be at your first race at Alton.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Okay, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Well driven.
Thank you very much. It's not upside down or on fire, or as I like to call it, parked.
And again, sometime in future, Liana, Dunsfold, let's make it happen.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
What's really nice is I can tell Richard is buzzing after putting those lap times in. It was a bit worrying at the start. He was a good 4 or 5 seconds off the pace, and then he just came down and down. You could tell the confidence was really starting to come in. He started locking up, which means he was really pushing it, and he ends up being quicker than Anthony. I think they're going to make a really good tag team in this new season. And if you would like to see what happens in their racing endeavours, click the link in the description below to watch season 4 of Richard Hammond's Workshop on Discovery Plus. I think they're going to do pretty well. Fingers crossed, Richard gets through the whole season. That makes it sound like he's going to have a horrific crash. That's not going to happen. I mean more the car. The car's the thing that's going to let him down, not his driving. Maybe.